Gender-based violence. Nearly every one of us knows that there is no assistance for male victims. Even this one, it says the fight against gender-based violence is no longer an individual or woman's fight, but a fight for every person. Each one of us has a responsibility to take action in eradicating the gender and social norms that promote violence against women. Meanwhile, there is no violence being promoted against women. It's not being promoted, it's being ignored. Big difference, first of all. And second of all, it's not ignored. We get told that it's ignored. No, gender-based violence is more often perpetrated against men. 90% of gender-based violence is against men. Most gender-based violence is against men. It's because of course, social norms that promote violence against men. There is nobody promoting violence against women. There are lots of people promoting violence against men. Many female victims have so much hate that they just project hatred nonstop onto men. All men must be evil. Many women will go out of their way to destroy a man's life just because he has a penis. We've even got literally dozens of women in the last 2 years who have killed their children for being born male. Well, there's also, of course, this here. Well, I guess it's not there. I'll make that small. Perhaps this one is it. Is this the oppression one? I believe it is. Open. Oppression. Domestic violence does not happen in a vacuum. Survivors often experience multiple forms of oppression or isms, such as sexism, check. Racism, check. Classism, check. Or heteronormativism, check. These isms can perpetuate gender-based violence, contribute to obstacles that survivors face, and have a significant impact on a survivor's ability to access safety and justice. This is literally what I am going through. Anyway, this is, oh, come on now. James, I'm making a video about and for him because it's pretty important. The conversation that him and I had last night, it shows how even if somebody wants to help, they can make all the mistakes in the world in that. There's also the fact that when somebody is informed, they make better decisions. There's also the fact that if you follow something through to its conclusion, you may come up with a different answer. The conversation I'm going to post up, James talks about how he watched one of those. Well, he watched a couple of the videos, but one of them, it's like 40 minutes long, and he says, hey, you know, Sean, I listened to that. I got probably about halfway through it, and I was about to say, hey, you know, fuck this guy, referring to me. Like, man, he's, you know, some sort of sicko. Well, then he got to the end of it, and most of the conversation that him and I had last night was him calling these people sickos, and rightly so. He's right, they are sick. All right, so I had a nutty stalker here named Molly, and Caleb was one of like 4 employees that helped me with that situation because she was really nutty. All right, so the thing is, we're pushing this gender-based stuff, but only for women. The women's services that men are sent to women's services when we're victims of domestic abuse. But as men, these people who run the place, most of them are women. Many of them have a severe hatred for men, or a disliking or a distrust. and they do as little as possible for a male victim. Gender-based violence is a choice. No, it's not. No, it's not. I didn't choose for anybody to assault me for any reason. Anyway, this video that I'm making now, it'll probably take a bit. What I am trying to do is find the instructions for how you're supposed to treat a victim of, well, gender-based violence. Here's some ways you can support a friend or family member experiencing gender-based violence. 1. Start by listening to them patiently without judgment. Alright, so James wasn't that good at it, but he did a lot better than most, and he is trying. Number 2, believe them. Well, of course he believes me. He's had similar experience. Number 3, validate the survivor's feelings. James is one of the few people that did validate my feelings instead of, well, a lot of people will validate your emotions or your feelings, but that's it. Whereas most people won't even do that. They want to tell you that you're wrong for feeling the way that you do. It says, be patient and keep constant communication. Well, that's, with nearly everybody, they just ignore me. I have to call them. I have to keep up the communication. I have to put all the legwork in for that. James might understand a little better after last night's conversation. It says 5, encourage them to build a support network of trusted family and friends. I don't have any trusted family or friends anymore because of, well, gender-based violence and gender bias. Not one of my friends cared to actually help me the way that they would have helped me if I was a woman, because it's just assumed that men can do all this themselves. Most of the people who offer to help me are women who wanted to tell me about their problems and also tell me about how much worse women have it than men. No, they don't. All of these domestic violence places are for women. All of them are run by 90% or greater women. And, well, trying to find one that is going to treat a homeless male like a human being instead of just saying pretty things and blowing us off. Holy shit. Whoa. That wasn't expected. I got one for free. Stood up too fast and almost passed out. Alright, so we gotta continue going through these, and I'm gonna go through the images ones because I need to find one to post up as the screensaver. You guys want to take the pictures of female victims, talking about how female victims still live in fear, black victims still live in fear. What about male victims or white victims? We don't matter. Believing a survivor, it doesn't matter if you believe them, if you ignore them, if you pretend that they don't exist. If you just want to tell them pretty words, you are invalidating everything that they are telling you. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. That's pretty important too. Here's one that really hurts every man out here. It's the women helping women thing. Us girls got to stick together. So if you've got one woman who is completely friggin' batshit bonkers, and she wants to destroy a man's life, and mind you, I've seen this hundreds of times, y'all will help that woman to destroy that man's life. Not okay with that. See, justice delayed is justice denied. Absolutely. Stop victim blaming. We need safe streets, not shame or blame. There are a lot of important things, but we're also looking at the fact that none of these victims are male. Not one of these victims that they're posting up on here, not one of them are male. None of these are male. They are very sexually pointed at only women can be victims and only men can be predators. And we need to stop this. One of the predators I tried to turn in is Michelle Quinn. She was a sheriff in Nebraska, Garden County. She also beat the hell out of her girlfriend and got arrested. Gender-based violence. Was her girlfriend beaten up for being gay? No. Was she beaten up for being female? No. She was beaten up because the sheriff had a control issue. Maybe this one will help. Maybe if I go to just a victim, see, domestic violence, only women, only women. See, we have it projected to us that only women can be victims. Only women can be victims. Gender-based violence is only perpetrated against women, apparently. And this is extreme sexism, and this is what results in so many men committing suicide. You will not hear a male victim. You will blow them off. You will tell them they just have to pretend to be happy. Here you go. This is one that, well, Amy Witcher, very important one. I keep saying housing first. It says without housing, and of course it's got to be very, very gender biased. It's only women can be victims. It says she is more likely to go back to her abuser without housing. She doesn't want her children to be homeless. Do you think he wants his children to be homeless? Do you think he wants to go back to his abuser? Most men, and this is, of course, from surveys taken from both men and women, a man, on average, is assaulted by his wife and or girlfriend 10 times for every time that he pushes her. We've also got the fact that pushing a woman who is assaulting you off of you because of the gender-based violence from police officers towards males, because of the hatred towards males and the bias and assumptions that result in so many males being murdered. But it's fine. When you encounter a police officer as a male victim, what are the chances of you having to endure gender-based violence and or discrimination? Oh my God, they are phenomenal. And then there's the fact that no matter what, you are assumed to be guilty, and women will create groups to destroy your life and slander your name, but they won't go after the actual predators. You won't incarcerate our female predators because they're not the right gender to be predators. Well, that is sexism. That is extreme sexism. When you choose to look the other way, you screwed up. When you choose to talk over the victim and blow the victim off, you screwed up. Now, when it comes to the training that these people took and the oaths that these people took, I'm talking about the police, I'm talking about the hospitals, I'm talking about these mental health workers. When it comes to a man, they don't fucking follow those goddamn rules. Not a fucking one of them will follow those rules. Not one of them follows their training. What they do is bullshit you and lie to you and fuck around, and then they read the goddamn script. Well, excuse me, you dumb cunt, but I don't give a fuck about your goddamn script. You just wasted a shit ton of my time. Now, where does the word cunt come from? Fucked if I know. But I know what I use it for. That's right. If your bullshit gets people killed or injured, you're a fucking cunt. You like that? Of course you don't. Nobody fucking does. Nobody likes being called fucked up names. Well, actually, there's a few people that I know, specifically women, that like to be abused in, well, I can't even say in bed. They're having nasty, raunchy, filthy pig sex, you know? Call me a dirty this and call me a nasty that. No, I'm not going to have sex with you, but thank you for the offer. You know? But as a male, you're not even allowed to turn a woman down. See, that's the most screwed up part here. Let's imagine you go to a party and some underage girl is there trying to hop all over you nuts. And you tell her no. I'm not messing around with a little girly. Please, leave me alone. So the next day, she's running around telling everybody you raped her. Because you told her fucking no. Nobody gives a fuck if it's true or not. They're going to fucking hurt you, if not fucking kill you. But it's alright, because only women can be victims of domestic violence. Women are made of sugar and spice and everything nice, and no woman would ever lie in the history of ever, would they? That's right. Anyway, the thing with James, I'm gonna make the video, and then after I make the video, we're actually gonna go through the through the protocols that you're supposed to follow. You're never supposed to interrupt the victim, ever. You're not supposed to start talking about you or making it about you. You need to believe them. That's the thing. Even though people believed me, they knew I have a penis and nobody gave a shit. Everybody knows this is an uphill battle. How many therapists do I have recorded saying that shit? Yeah, I'm right, but that is nice, getting validation from my therapists that I'm fucking right. But also, there's the second part of that. I'm an at-risk adult who's being abused, who's been forced in a severely abusive situation. Ugh. And of course, these are mandated reporters. When mandated reporters won't help you, they're supposed to what? Believe you. Now, if they believe you, there's a certain protocol that they need to follow. They're not going to follow that protocol, especially for a male, if there is no friend or family present. That is specifically because of gender bias. We've gotten to see here in the United States how many times women, you don't want to get violent, you don't want to get in trouble. You go slander a man's name to another man and have that other man do your dirty work. The media and the police did everything that they could to smash my name, to destroy my name, along with the Bollingers. They did everything that they could to commit felony after felony after felony, knowing that this gender bias was going to allow them to get away with literally killing people. But why does it fucking matter? I'm a male. I have a penis. I don't matter. I'm not human to you. I'm not worth anything more than pretty words And you get to see how selfish women are. Specifically, the women who want to help me. If you wanted to help me, you would help me. If you wanted to help me, you wouldn't fucking argue. If you wanted to help me, you wouldn't talk about yourself nonstop. It's one thing to say you understand because you've been through physical abuse too. It's another thing when the victim needs your help turning it in. They need you to focus on them. Focus on what's going on. Find out the details. Now, that's one of the things where James screwed up a bit, but everybody does. And at least he did better than most. You know, for only our, I want to say our second phone call, he did pretty goddamn good. Also, the first time he nearly blew me off entirely. This time he fucking gets it. He also let me know that the difference between throwing me away and helping me come down to the last 5 minutes of that web sleuth show. He said it's fucked up because it was 45 minutes. 40 minutes of that 40 minutes of that was all about Sean. Only 5 minutes at the very end that they talk about Joseph Lopez. I'm living through hell because these people don't give a fuck. Nobody cares. Not one of my friends or family fucking cared. They didn't give a fuck who hurt me, who harmed me. They were all pretty fucking words, but instead of listening, they all wanted to yell at me and fucking argue with me. Hey, believe the fucking victim. Take a look at the goddamn evidence. Look at the fucking evidence! Instead of being sexist pieces of shit. Anyway, I gotta go back in and watch my stuff. I figured I'd, I gotta do all of this through severe quantities of abuse. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, getting absolutely nowhere because all of you are sexist. That's the thing with most of these females who are offering to help. They're not helping. They are literally going out of their way to try to push me to suicide. That is what they are doing. Oh, you care, you care, you care. But you are literally going over and over and over, literally only doing things that are not helpful. Only doing things that harm or damage the victim. I didn't make this fucking channel for your goddamn entertainment. I made this channel to show the truth and to get help for the actual victims. Just because you got tits doesn't make you the victim.